जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधवा जयो कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरवर धारी। जय गिरवर धारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरवर धारी। जय गिरवर धारी। जयो यशोदानंदना जयो ब्रज जन रंजना। जयो यशोदानंदना जयो ब्रज जन रंजना। जयो यमुना तीरवनचारी जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो यमुना तीरवनचारी जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधवा जयो कुंज बिहारी। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जयो विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य शत्र शत्र डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna, everybody. I would like to welcome you all for our today's Śrimad Bhāgavatam class. Today we are reading from Canto 3, The Status Quo, and chapter number 28, entitled Kapila's Instructions on Devotional Service. And today we're going to read text number 35. Muktashrayam yarhi niravashayam viriktam. I think you can open up your phone or anything. No? $35, 328, 35. Still on the screen? Yeah, it's there? Okay. Muktashrayam yarhi niravishayam viriktam nirvanam richyate manaha sahashayatrachi atma atmanam atra purusho vayavadham ekam anvikshate pratinivritta guna pravaha Muktashrayam yarhi nirvishayam niriktam nirvanam richyati manaha sahasha yatharchi atmanamatra purusho vayavadhanamekam anvikshate pratinivritta guna pravaha Muktashrayam yarhi nirvishayam viriktam nirvanam richyati manha sahasha yatharchi atmanamatra purusho vayavadhanamekam anvikshate pratinivritta guna pravaha. Please. Muktashrayam yarhi nirvishayam viriktam nirvanam richyati mana sahasha yatharchi atmanamatra purusho vyavadhanamekam anvikshate pratinivritta guna pravaha. Muktashrayam yarhi nirvishayam viraktam nirvanam rachyate manaha sahasha yatharchi atmanamatra purusho vayavadhanamekam anivikshate pratimritta guna pravaha. Mataji's. Muktashrayam yarhi niravishayam viriktam Nirvanam richyate manaha sahasha yatharche Atmanamatra purisho vyavadhanamekam Anvikshate pratinivritta guna pravaha. Word to word meaning: Muktashrayam, situated in liberation. Yarhi, at which time. Nirvishayam, detached from sense objects. Viraktam, indifferent. Nirvanam, extinction. Richati, obtains. Manaha, the mind. Sahasa, immediately. Yatha, like. Archihi, the flame. Atmanam, the mind. Atra, at this time. Purishaha, a person. Avyavadhanam, without separation. Ekam, one. Anavikshate, experiences. Pratinivritta, freed. Guna pravaha, from the flow of material qualities. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: when the mind is thus completely freed from all material contamination and detached from material objects, it is just like the flame of a lamp. At that time, the mind is actually dovetailed with that of the Supreme Lord and is experienced as one with Him because it is freed from the interactive flow of the material qualities. Purport: in the material world, the activities of the mind are acceptance and rejection. As long as the mind is in material consciousness, it must be forcibly trained to accept meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when one is actually elevated to loving the Supreme Lord, the mind is automatically absorbed in thought of the Lord. In such a position, a yogi has no other thought than to serve the Lord. This dovetailing of the mind with the desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is called nirvana, or making the mind one with the Supreme Lord. The best example of nirvana is cited in Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning, the mind of Arjuna deviated from Krishna's. Krishna wanted Arjuna to fight, but Arjuna did not want to, so there was disagreement. But after hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna dovetailed his mind with Krishna's desire. This is called oneness. This oneness, however, did not cause Arjuna and Krishna to lose their individualities. The Mayavadi philosophers cannot understand this. They think that oneness necessitates loss of individuality. Actually, however, we find in Bhagavad Gita that individuality is not lost. When the mind is completely purified in love of Godhead, the mind becomes the mind of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The mind at that time does not act separately, nor does it act without inspiration to fulfill the desire of the Lord. The individual liberated soul has no other activity. Pratinivritta guna pravaha. In the conditioned state, the mind is always engaged in the activity impelled by the three modes of the material world or nature. But in the transcendental stage, the material modes cannot disturb the mind of the devotee. The devotee has no other concern than to satisfy the desire of the Lord. That is the highest stage of perfection called nirvana or nirvana mukti. At this stage, the mind becomes completely free from material desires. Yatharchi, archi means flame. When a lamp is broken or the oil is finished, we see that the flame of the lamp goes out. But according to scientific understanding, the flame is not extinguished, it is conserved. This is conservation of energy. Similarly, when the mind stops functioning on the material platform, it is conserved in the activities of the Supreme Lord. The Mayavadi philosophers' conception of cessation of the function of the mind is explained here. Cessation of the mental functions means cessation of activities conducted under the influence of the three modes of material nature. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahayam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenbandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vishwabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, the continuation of Lord Kapila's instruction is going on along with his mother Devahuti. And if you read out the whole Śrimad Bhāgavatam, you will find out the longest pastime or the instruction in Śrimad Bhāgavatam is Uddhav Gita. And the second one comes our Lord Kapila and his mother Devahuti. And as you can see, because it's been going on for so many chapters here, and now it will finish till chapter 33. So we can find out again and again in every single chapter or every 10-15 verses, Lord Kapila, he's emphasizing the point where the root cause is for everything. Again and again, he's coming up the same thing: mind, false ego, senses. So we can see, being as a Lord, he is not giving us the higher knowledge yet, because our foundation is very, very weak. We need to work on our foundation. And it says in many other scriptures, especially in Bhagavad Gita, that mind is the root cause of all the problems. Okay, we can understand this body is, the gross body is made of 5 things, and the subtle body is made of 3 things. Yes? And those 3 things are mind, intelligence, and false ego. In today's verse, we are speaking about the mind. And mind is so subtle that we are trying to conquer the mind. If you try to conquer something, you must see first that thing. How does it looks like? What's this nature? If we read out the whole scripture, when the war was happened, so how? Because the opposition party, if they are going to fight with each other, they do a proper study about other party. What's the strength of the party? What is the weakness of the party? In which way they are so expert? What are their soldiers? What are their powerful weapons? So they theoretically study each other's party before getting into the war. Okay? Even though if you see in today's world, if we are having kind of a ultimate fighting championship show comes, UFC. If they are going to fight against somebody, the person, he or she watches their opponent's previous video. Let me see what are their strongest move, how they fight, okay, and how they save themselves. What is their defensive mood? What is their attacking mood? So they study thoroughly. Now we are going to fight against Maya, and Lord Kapila, who is an incarnation of the Lord himself, Lord Shri Krishna, he's giving us again and again this thing. Try to understand the nature of the mind, the characteristics of the mind, what actually mind does. to all of us. The way a hunter plays with an animal, when he captures the animal, sometimes he just plays with an animal. Think, ki, I'm going to release you. Okay, and again he captures. Sometimes he thinks, you are under my control. Sometimes you are not under my control. That's what the mind does. Mind makes us fool. Look, I am completely under you. And we think, oh, we have controlled the mind. And suddenly mind slips away from our grip. And then it shows its own real nature, beating us like anything. In one moment, we think we are on the higher platform of our devotional service, and next day we find out we never raised. We are where we were for many years. That's how the mind shows us the picture. And that's why again and again, even in this verse here, because Mother Devhuti, she is asking such an intelligent question. She says even the yogi also practices for so many years. But what is that thing that they don't succeed? Okay, and here the yogi has been talking about the Ashtanga yogi. And not just Ashtanga yogi, Lord Kapila is adding devotional service also in there. And we can see what is the main job of the mind? To accept something and to reject something. And in other way, Srila Prabhupada says thinking, willing and feeling. Acting on that perspective here. But the mind, if it's not trained to follow the instruction of the Lord, which is in the form of the Veda, and his true representative in the form of spiritual masters, not just masters, spiritual masters, okay, then the mind has many branches. Where do we get this information? Where Lord himself says, if you are not pointed attention with my desire, so you have many branches. Which is the shloka in Bhagavad Gita. 2.41. Vyavasatmika buddhir ekeha guru nandana bahushakahe anantasya buddhyo vyavasaya nama. That means if your purpose, your attention is not resolute one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you have many branches to jump on. Who jumps mainly? Monkeys jumps. Okay? And that is the mind of a monkey. Okay? In the scriptures, because mind has been referred to many analogies. Mind referred to child also. Have you seen the child 2-3 years old when we play around? And they become mischievous. We ask them, no, sit properly. They cannot even a single second, they can sit like this. They're always chanchal, flickering. Every moment, they just want to do something, scratching their head, back, playing something. No, don't move, still they move. That is the condition of the mind. And other way in the scripture, it has said, mind is compared to a monkey. How monkey is also so restless. And if, first of all, the monkey itself is so restless, it's enough to say mind is like monkey. But if the monkey drinks liquor, what is the condition of the monkey? First of all, he himself by nature is very restless. And top of that, if that monkey drinks the liquor, it is more restless. And top of that, if the monkey is bitten by a scorpion, even it's more dangerous. And that is the condition of a mind. That's how this mind is so restless. Prabhupada writes in the first paragraph of this verse here, and he compares to as a nirvana, uses a word of nirvana. If you have been to India, many people, they say we are from a nirvana background, or I'm going to achieve nirvana. Especially Buddhist people uses this term, nirvana. I'm going to achieve nirvana. Or Mayavadis or impersonalists. But their definition to nirvana means oneness. How do they define? They say oneness means you practice for a short period of time, then you will realize yourself, you are going to merge with the Lord, and then you will become a God. Because you are not practicing enough. And they give so many other examples. First example they give, air. They say there is a pot and air is inside the pot and the air is outside the pot. And when you break the pot, the inside air and outside air merges. So that means when you give up this body is like a clay pot. So when this Atma, when it merges with Paramatma, then you also become Paramatma. And second philosophy they give, the river. When the river merges, goes to the ocean and it merges, it becomes one. But how Srila Prabhupada refutes, first of all, soul is not air. Soul is not water. Air and water, they are material things. Okay. And second thing, Prabhupada says, because in the river, there are many living entities are living. So we are living entity, individual living entity. We are not dead. We are living entity. And when that so many living entities, such as in the form of aquatics, fish, crabs, or prawns, or small other living entity, when they go along with the river, when they merges in the ocean, they don't become the ocean. They still carry on their own existence. They don't merge with that. And in Bhagavad Gita 2.12, Lord refuses what is the actual meaning of nirvana. He says it's not oneness when you merge. Natveham jatu nasham natva nevi janadipa na sarve vya athaparam. No. Nachayana bhavishyama sarve vya athaparam. There was never a time I did not exist, you did not succeed, and nor all these kings. And in the present, we all are existing. And in the future, we all will be existing. So we will always maintain our individuality. So where does this word has come from, nirvana? So the nirvana actual, the Gaudiya Vaishnava or the Vaishnava philosophy, they explains us we going to be one with the desire. Whatever Lord wants, that is the desire of his devotee. And devotee lives his life to fulfill the desire of the Lord. That's how they become one with the fulfilling the mission. Even Srila Prabhupada, if we listen to his lectures, we find out many times he emphasizes, he says, the Hare Krishna movement's driving force is Vyavasatmika Buddhir Ekehya Kuru Nandana. We should not make our own plan. What is the plan of your Guru Maharaj is the plan of his Guru Maharaj, is the plan of his Guru Maharaj, and all the way it's the plan of Lord Krishna. So everybody is trying to fulfill the mission of the Lord. And what was his mission? Bring back all the conditioned living entity back to Godhead. If we have this one pointed attention to live together, then there is no conflict. Otherwise, Bahushakha. Bahushakha means that a person will work for his society, his country, his own body, his own self, his own family, his own street, or he has many other things to do. But these all things are completely temporarily, and the time will go away just to fulfill those desires. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, he says, no, we should not waste our time. We should water the root. Once you start fulfilling the mission of the Lord, other missions are already taken care of very nicely. Otherwise, we will be entangled with those temporary things. We always look for the higher humanity work. And the higher humanity work is to spread Krishna consciousness in all over the world by any means. Because we all have our individuality. And we are empowered with our individual skills. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We 9 people are sitting here, and 9 people have their different skill to spread the Krishna consciousness. Just come out, use it. Someone is a good speaker, someone is a good singer, someone is a good cook, someone is a good book distributor, somebody is very good manager. So somehow or other work for the same cause. That's why we all are here in this temple. We are all here in this temple to fulfill only one purpose. And the purpose is to spread the Krishna consciousness all over the world. Otherwise, why we are here? And we all have come from a different background, different country, different set of mind. But we are training our mind in such a way that our mind must be aligned with the mind of Supreme Personality of Godhead. But does it mean that we have to go and keep doing preaching all the time? That is our mission. But what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, what was his order? Yes, that is also there. But before that, he also said, Janma sarthak kari kara para upkara. He did not say first kara upkara and then janma sarthak yours automatically. No. First he said, try to protect yourself, and then when you are protected enough, go and protect others. When we are preaching, I just give an example of a phone. Okay, phone is here. If we are keep using the phone, the battery runs out. So to keep up the phone on, what we do? We recharge it every day on daily basis. As we see, 20% less, 10% less, only that much left. Let me recharge my battery. That's how I'm going to use the phone. In a similar way, when we are preaching, and not focusing on our sadhana, which is the real source of our recharge, and when we are lacking in that sadhana, then we will run out of the spiritual energy. And at the end of the day, we will blooped out. And we have seen it. Even in this verse 35 and 34, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur, he also emphasizes that a yogi who is practicing for so many years, okay, even the bhakti he has done, but at certain point of life, he loses the taste to carry on the bhakti ahead, and he drops out the bhakti also. That's what Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says on this 35 and 34 verse very clearly. Sometimes he comes and see the Lord. Sometimes he chants the Hare Krishna. Sometimes he preaches for many years. And suddenly, one day, he starts losing slowly. Why? Because he thinks he has controlled the mind. And now mind is controlled. And that is a very, very subtle trick of the mind. To make you think that you have control or own me. But actually not. And whenever I think to say something on the mind, there is a very beautiful pastime of Lord Rishabdev comes into my mind. When I was doing my Bhakti Vaibhav, these 2-3 sets of shlokas, they have been into my mind so deeper, I think, no Baba, I'm nowhere nearby. Okay, let me read out these 2-3 shlokas, just only translation, but I just want you to be focused. Lord Rishabdev, he's an incarnation of the Lord himself. Okay, what he's saying, Canto 5, chapter number 6, the activities of Lord Rishabdev, text number 2. The translation goes, Srila Sukadev Goswami replied, My dear king, you have spoken correctly. However, after capturing animals, a cunning hunter does not put faith in them, for they might run away. Similarly, those who are advanced in spiritual life do not put faith in the mind. Indeed, they always remain vigilant and watch the mind's activity or his action. But what we do? And what is saying? The person who is advanced in spiritual life, they don't trust or put faith in the activities of the mind. But we think we have been advanced and we let the mind loose from our hand. Slackening in our sadhana, especially in our swadhyaya. Swadhyaya means reading the Vedic scripture on everyday, daily basis. Sometimes we just hear any fired out lecture and it pumps us. That's it. Today I'm gonna do it. And then it only lasts till evening. And next morning we are the same person. That's why we need to read every day to make our enthusiasm up. Otherwise, again mind says, you know everything. You have been in movement for 20-25 years. You are the teacher, you are the facilitator of Bhakti, Siddhanta or Vedanta or many other. Okay? You know all the shlokas left and right. You teach each other. Mind is nothing, You can control the mind. That's where the slowly the diminution goes. And ahead, all the learners called, text number 3, all the learned scholars have been given their opinion. The mind is by nature very restless and one should not make friends with it. If we place full confidence in the mind, it may cheat us at any moment. Even Lord Shiva became agitated upon seeing the Mohini form of Lord Krishna, and Saubhari Muni also fell down from the mature stage of yogic perfection. See, should not make friends. Never ever trust anything. And furthermore, this trust has been compared to an unchaste woman. Have a look. An unchaste woman is very easily carried away by paramars, and it sometimes happened that her husband is violently killed by her paramar. If the yogi gives the mind a chance and does not restrain it, his mind will give facility to enemies like lust, anger, greed, and they will doubtlessly kill the yogi. And in that particular purport, some weeks ago you gave a class and you quoted Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj that how to control the mind. Yeah, pick up your 9 size number shoes and a long-headed broomstick and beat it, yes? Is that way you can do it? But this mind is very subtle. How can you beat if you can't see the object? Here, look, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj used to say that in the morning our first business should be to beat the mind with shoes 100 times and before going to bed to beat the mind 100 times with a broomstick. That broomstick is our chanting Hare Krishna. So as soon as you wake up, pick up your bead. Of course, after taking shower, cleaning yourself, the way we do early in the morning, 5:30 to 7:30. How many of us have taken a vow to finish our round in a one go? How many of do it on daily basis? Okay, how many try to do it on daily basis? Try to do it. See the condition we are living in this temple. Okay, if being as a brahmachari or brahmachirni, if we are not able to do our chanting in a one go, then it's a shame on us. What to speak about the grahastha people who are living outside? Our mentality is exactly like them. Because they say, Prabhuji, we have to wake up, we have our children, we have to, make them ready. Okay, send them school. We have to get ourselves ready, go to work. We have so many things to do. That's why we just split our rounds, 4, 8, whatever here and there. But we are living in the temple. What wife and husband do we have and children do we have? Or other things do we have? The person who tries to finish his or her round in a one go, 16, they can see their mind, they have controlled it. If they do on a daily basis, so daily they have controlled the action of their mind. Anything comes, they can, no. Mind, I'm not going to do that. Calm down. Shastra says we should not do like this. So that's how you can beat up your mind with the instruction of the Lord also. But if it becomes like a casual thing, 2 here, 4 here, 5 here, walking out chanting in the train and tram, seeing the side view, finish. So that means the opportunity Lord has given us to stay with Him in His palace on a same building, we will lose it. That means we are becoming casual. And that casualty will not help us to grow in our spiritual life. And that's how the mind is there. Even though we are living, this Prabhupada says all over ISKCON temples, there are Vaikunthas or Vrindavan. But if we are living in the Vrindavan, then why there are so many dualities or there are so many frustration is there? Even though we are living with the Lord. Why? Because when somebody lives in certain place, there are some certain rules and regulations are there. When we don't follow it, then what is our hope? Do we think when we're going to get married in the future, if somebody is planning, he or she, so what will happen to them? What is their hope? Very difficult to come out. That's why Lord is saying to beat up the mind 100 times. As soon as we get up, please finish your round as early as possible in a one go. And see the weight on your speech when you go and preach outside. You will see there is a less affection of Maya on your consciousness. Otherwise, when we go and do Harinam outside and we do book preaching, my God, the heat is so heavy. The heat is so heavy because the aura, connectivity of the people is so heavy. As soon as you just to do high five or do like this, it just gives a very heavy reaction to you, because you are sharing their karma by touching them also. That's why Prabhupada and other senior sannyasis says, don't allow and Prabhupada has said, don't allow anybody to touch your feet if they are not initiated, because you are carrying their reaction very heavily, and it will make you sick also, and it will make you dumb in your practice also. Sometimes we don't feel to wake up, sometimes we don't feel to put our hand in a chanting bag, and that's heavy it is. That's why everyone wear their shoes or their socks on or many things, so make sure there is no direct contact. But it's not that so easy, because we need to preach somewhere. So somewhere we need to avoid touching people. We'll answer your questions. I know you do a lot. We'll answer your question when you ask at the end. So we need to be very mindful in that sense here. Prabhupada says, no, we should not. But if somebody comes and touches, just pray or think about your spiritual master and pass on whatever you are getting on his name to him. In this way, you will be humble and protected by that. And furthermore, here says, in this way, one's mind can be kept under control. As an uncontrolled mind and an unchaste wife are the same. An unchaste wife can kill her husband at any time. An uncontrolled mind followed by the lust, anger, greed and madness, envy and illusion can certainly kill the yogi. And the yogi again fall down in the pool of this material world. Even though he thinks he is advancing, no. It looks like we are advancing, no. Externally we are advancing, changing our dress from jeans to dhoti or skirt to sari. No. We need to do internally work, and the mind is the one cause there that you have to control it. It's just like a wild horse. You are trying to train that wild horse very badly, and you know how the horses does? Kicks you right on your face, on your body, and when they kicks is very heavy. And do you know in the circus how the lion has been trained? Have you seen anybody? If you capture a new lion, not like new, like a fresh lion from the jungle, from the forest, he's independent. Yes, he's independent to do anything, because he's the king, and king doesn't follow anybody in that sense. And top of that, he's an animal. What they do, they keep him in the circus, in the jail, okay, in a prison, whatever the cage is, and they don't feed him. They don't feed him a day, a week, a month also. And he becomes weak. And when he doesn't get anything to eat, he becomes more wild, more ferocious, and he roars like anything. It seems like he's going to break down the cage. But still the master, what he does, it doesn't feed him. And over the period of time, there's a transition. It goes from here, go up here, come down. When he's right on the pitch, we think he's going to break down the cage. No, he's just on his last snare. And slowly, he gets weak, and he does exactly what a master asks him to do. I don't know if you have done it or not, have you seen it or not. Check it out on YouTube, how the lions are being trained. They have not been fed for many days, and that's they become weaker, and they exactly follow what the master says in the circus. Jump, ring, jump from this fire ring, jump from this table, jump from there. That's how they have been trained. And exactly we have to do with the mind. Don't feed the mind. The mind asks us to be. Don't give anything, whatever the mind. Always see, okay, mind, you are asking me, does Lord says we have to do it? If it's not, sorry, I'm not going to feed you. And in this way, the mind becomes weaker, and exactly follow the way the master wants. And the master is Lord Krishna. Or of course, Jiva also there. That's how the Jiva has the grip on the mind. But if you start feeding, slowly, small things. And the trick of the mind is, when a mind says this person is not giving me anything to eat and I'm getting weaker, then he doesn't ask for a big thing. He asks for a small thing. Okay? Ask for a small thing, like just an example, I have got 5-6 t-shirt. Anyway, they are old. Let me buy another one. Oh, what are you going to do? Anyway, I'm going to use in Lord's service. But you already have. So what? I'm going to have another one. Then mobile phones. Then going to visit. You just visited somewhere. But now again we want to small things ask. And slowly, when the small things goes inside, then demands for the bigger thing. And then we start fulfilling the desire of the mind, and then we dovetail our energy, our mission, everything in the service of the mind, not in the service of the Lord. Yeah. That's how the trick of the mind is there. That's why I see Lord Rishabdev never ever trust the mind. Don't make friendship with him. Don't serve him. Okay? Think them. They are exactly like an unchaste lady. Okay? First they will take you. Yes, of course, I'm your friend. I'm your friend. Do you know, on last Saturday, there were so many, opportunity to enjoy senses. Did I bother you? No. I'm under your control. See, I'm your obedient servant. And suddenly, by winning the trust of a jiva, the mind, he sends his soldier. And the soldiers comes at the back. Slowly, like a spy, hidden spy. And they enters in the heart. How? In the form of? Kam, krodha, lobha, moha, mad, matsarya. They all comes here. Lust, greed, anger, envy, illusion. They enters in there and they conquer the whole palace. The palace which meant to be the resident of Lord Krishna. If that palace is already taken by these thieves and rogues, Krishna comes, where is my place to live? Because these dirty people are already living there. I'm not going to live there. So how is going to live in our heart? That's why we need to keep cleaning with our broom, these sticks and there, every day and morning. Waking up, chant Hare Krishna. Going to bed, chant Hare Krishna. It's a very beautiful feeling when you're going to take a sleep now in the night. If you chant 1 or 2 rounds, you can see what a peaceful sleep do you do. Even though it's material we do for the sleep, but it's a powerful, because if your mind is stable, if your mind is controlled or not been agitating, then you really have a very good sleep. Otherwise you are sleeping externally, but your mind is going on in your mind, like in your dream. There's so many thoughts are there, and when you wake up with your tired mind or tired body. Oh man, not have enough sleep. Not have enough sleep there. And other way, Srila Prabhupada also says, we have to put ourselves in a certain situation there where our mind is not agitated. Like mind, he says, is like a water. If the water is not being agitated, it's completely stable. You can see underneath what's in there. I don't know if you have noticed in the ocean or not. Not ocean, maybe somewhere in the pond or something. If you see, if you put a stone in the water, so what does happen? It's agitate the water, and you can't see underneath what is there clearly. But then similarly, if we throw any desire in the mind to enjoy this material by any means, even if it's eating also, or by any means, it's agitate the mind. And when it's agitate the minds, so you cannot differentiate what is good for you and what is not good for you. Because for that thing, you have a very stable and clear mind. So in this way, we have to be similarly put ourselves in a certain situation where our mind should not get agitated by any means. Either by arguing with somebody, or by our own body problem, or by our own services, by any means. Try as much as you can protect your mind from these external agitations. When you do that, when you see, if you didn't do anything yesterday nonsense, and today's morning japa becomes much more better. But if you are chanting in such a restless or agitated mind or an angry mind, then it affects your japa and your devotional life for the next day. Or maybe it could take a week also. I have noticed it. That's my own personalization. If you have done something, so next day or the whole day, you don't feel to pick up the book and read any single line. because your mind is so disturbed by that incident, and the next day, or it takes a week or a month also to come over from this. Then you have to, make yourself, what should I do, what should I do? And all the solutions are given there. Protect yourself as much as you can, and don't forget the purpose we got into this temple, and the opportunity and the facilities, because this facilities, this opportunity has been provided by Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. We are enjoying their fruits. If you read our Srila Prabhupada Lila Amrita and many other pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, how much hard work they have done, okay, for upcoming devotee to give them, so they can live peacefully, they can make their life successful, and they can also do some contribution, so the upcoming generation can also come and do the same thing. Today, whatever we are enjoying, we are living in such a wealthy palace or a building here. It is like a palace, such a big hall here, 6-7 story building. This is a hard work of Srila Prabhupada, disciple and Srila Prabhupada's. So we are enjoying their fruits. So now we have to set up the same thing for upcoming generation. We need to do something for them also. But how we will do if our mind is not in our control, our own control? And then it can also be done where there is a sufficient hearing of the chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra of the Śrimad Bhāgavatam on a daily basis, and performing our Swadhyaya, which is our reading, personal reading, and plus our services here. Okay? Thank you so much. We have got 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go, and we can answer. You can use the mic. Do we have mic here? It's broken. Okay, anybody can go, please. Yeah, please, anybody. Yeah, Mataji's question is, I said two, 3 times in my lecture that mind should not make mind friend, because she has heard that mind you can make friend also or enemy also, like that. But the point is, mind is tricking you. I am your friend, and he asks you what he asks you to do. But if he asks you something, make sure his demand should be aligned in the scriptures. Does my Lord wants me to do like this or not? If he says, sorry my friend, you are saying I'm your friend, but actually you are acting me as an enemy. Have you felt that in our daily life also? Not in our Krishna conscious life, but other life, when we have so many friends. They act as our friend, but some point of life they come out as our enemy. I don't know if you have felt it or not. They show you they are your best friend, but at some point of life, you find out actually they were never your friends. They were your enemy all time. They were leaking out your information to somebody else. They were be with you to harm you. But we did not recognize them as our enemy. We recognize them as our friend. That's what the mind does. Mind always be with you and give you so many advices, good. We think, oh, my mind is so my friend. He's giving me so many advices. But is that advice aligned by the advice of Lord Krishna? If it's not, then sorry, you are not my friend. In this way, if you align your mind with the advice of Lord, then you make him your friend. Actually, he's never your friend. He's always again, because he's the agent of Maya. He's been appointed to do this service. He's a subtle material element. And material element can never be the friend of a spirit, because they have two different directions to go. One is taking you to the material world, and one is taking you to the spiritual world. I hope that I answered your questions. Yeah? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. When you do all these things, make sure you are spiritually strong enough. Make sure this point here. Okay. When I said there's a reference of Srila Prabhupada, he said it. Make sure the person who is not initiated should not touch your feet or should not touch you. But when in terms of doing preaching, we take the risk. We take the risk of our own spiritual life to give them the spiritual life. Like one statement of Lord is there, he should not give the message of Krishna consciousness to an atheistic people or the faithless people. But Prabhupada also right, but the devotees are more merciful than the Lord. They take the risk and give it. Otherwise, if he will not give, how he is going to preach? How is going to make other devotee? So we need to understand that Prabhupada's statement in which context he has said what. Even the same statement has been said in a different context. Okay, there are so many swamis there, sannyasis are there, and many powerful people are there. They are practicing for 40 years, 30 years, or 50 years. They go and shake hands. They put their shoulder, their hand on their shoulder. Oh, take selfie like that, because they are spiritually power enough to conquer the reaction. But are we? Are we strong enough? No. We need to be where there is a chance to protect yourself, do. If it's not, what can be done? Because we are sharing, Lord will protect us anyway. He's doing it. But still we need to be mindful until unless we are strong enough. That was my point to say. Got it? Or Prabhu, you want to add something into it? Yeah. 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 That's why until unless you are not spiritually strong enough, you must be strong enough to conquer or counteract that reaction. Same thing. Yes, Prabhu. Because mic is not there, I can't hear. Yeah. That's Prabhupada's analogy he gave in the scripture. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mind has to be fully trained and controlled. Yeah. Yes. Yes. No, no, thank you so much, because it was everything has come from Srila Prabhupada, because he says ki even though we are in material world, like there is a canto 8 of Gajendra pastime. If you see, ki Srila Prabhupada in that particular purport, he says, even though we are in a foreign land, okay, we have to be very, very careful. Even though we are a spirit soul, we spirit soul is Satchid Ananda, eternal knowledge and blissful, but it's in a wrong place. So we cannot fight against the Maya. We need to be very, very careful and do the needful where you can protect yourself as much as you can and perform your duty. Why Srila Prabhupada says ki we have to perform our duty in a favorable situation. Because if you try to chant here in the temple, different experience. If you try to chant in the train, completely different experience. So we have to perform and protect as much as you can, and the rest when you go and preach, Lord is there for you to protect. And this elephant, Gajendra, he was thinking the same thing. Oh, I'm such a powerful person when I use my trunk and the lion goes far away, kilometer away. I'm such a powerful person. But he was having this ego in a wrong place. Where? In the water. He was an animal of a land, but he thinks he has the same power in the water. That was his wrong judging or wrong calculation. If he could have, that crocodile could have been on the land, he could have defeated in a one go. But it took him 1000 celestial year. He was not able to conquer it. And every day he was getting weaker, and ultimately he just died. Of course, Lord came and he did his pastime. So Prabhupada especially right, when we are in the material world, we have to watch out and protect as much as we can from everything wherever there is a possibility, so we can gain our spiritual strength. Because spiritual strength also run out at one point when we start preaching. You are trying to purify your consciousness. You do for so many years. But suddenly one snare of Maya comes, your whole consciousness is contaminated. Example, okay? We read out whole thing, whole day, and suddenly somewhere in the evening and afternoon, suddenly you're trying to open any internet, something like on a YouTube. Suddenly, half naked girls comes up. Buy this. Whole consciousness is contaminated. Just only by one scenario. You took 5-6 hours to purify your consciousness, and suddenly one image reflection is there. Boom, you finish. And then it gives you a heavy projection on your mind. Then it takes, whoa, what was that? See? That's why we need as much as you can protect, because we are in the wrong place to show our power. Okay, anybody else want to say something? Yes, Prabhu, please add on.
That's why it's very important to be close.
Association of the Vaishnava, yes.
Because generally devotees are merciful. If they see something is wrong,
Yeah.
address it. They'll say, hey, I didn't see your Bangalore like last month or this or that.
Yes.
They will help you actually to
Definitely. Not just, touching your body to his body. Just association means following the instructions. Yeah. That's very, 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 very nice, because that's how the mind tricks. No, you are very, advanced enough. Why you want to take the association? No. A person in any level must take the association of anybody. If the person is lower, like junior to you, take association, because they're going to give you enthusiasm. The person who's senior to you, take wisdom, because with wisdom and enthusiasm, they are your power, and it will push you up. Association is very, very important. So take as much as you can. There are so many people are here. Prabhu is here. So, it will help us to guide us, because they have gone through many years of upside down, but they're still strong in their sadhana. Hats off. Thank you. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.